Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver
Guys,
now.
Bix Weir, roadtoruta.com. So much going on, it's crazy. We do have a 3-day weekend coming up, and we know the FDIC wants to close a couple banks on a 3-day weekend. Do I think it's this 3-day weekend? It doesn't feel like it. More probably like a September timeframe, but you never know. They might start with a small one. We haven't seen bank closings in a while, and with the volatility in the markets, the derivative complex is probably shaking it at all four corners of the whatever it is. It's like Jenga. You pull that last little block out and it's over. So very interesting time. I just posted a great discussion with Jenny Moonstone on the private road, Trump's master plan, silver in the spotlight, and what's really about to happen to Theta and TFuel. Those of you who have been in Theta and TFuel, this feels exactly like the time Theta got pushed down from 20 cents down to 4 cents and then jumped to $15. I'm feeling those same vibes. You can see it. You can see it in the charts. There are people, look what happened just a couple of minutes ago. Slam down. It looks like silver, right? There are people trying to load up on TFuel and Theta before the June 25th release of the hybrid Edge Cloud. It's going to be monster. It's going to be, 2025, you want to be in silver, number one, and TFuel, number two, and then Theta, number three. So swap. I swap most of my Theta for TFuel because I think TFuel, I love Theta. The blockchain is amazing. It's the best blockchain out there. It's fast. It's cheap. You can't beat it. But the reality is the Theta is really a two token, some say three, but two token type of architecture for the entire ecosystem for Theta. And TFuel will be utilized a lot more than Theta. And you earn 7% minimum. Well, minimum, if you have someone else stake for you, it's like 5%. But you earn a lot more in staking TFuel than Theta. They'll get it. People will get it after a while, but yeah, you should have both, but heavily weighted in TFuel while the ratio is 25-1. It's like silver to gold ratio, 100-1. You can't beat that. If you're holding gold, you're absolutely nuts. I hate to say it. If you're holding gold, you hate gold. Why do I say that? Because the gold-silver ratio is at 100-1 because of artificial manipulation. We all know that. So why wouldn't you, if you have all this gold, why wouldn't you swap it all for silver now, wait for the criminals to go away, and then swap it back at like 10-1 or 5-1? I think it's going 1-1. You'll have 100 times more gold if it goes 1-1, and you do the swap. And then you can swap back into gold. There are a few things, there's quite a bit about gold that I think will be revealed. For example, there's not 200,000 tons of gold that's ever been mined. Try 2 million to who knows how much, truthfully. I could probably count over 1 million tons. But I think it's about 2 million tons. Nobody really knows, and nobody's really telling, especially the bankers. Anyway, Jenny and I go through a lot of great stuff. We talk about silver and then what's happening, what's about to happen to Theta and TFuel. Check that out. Silver is still hanging tough. Now, a lot of people still saying, I'm not going to buy, I'm waiting for the slam. I'm waiting for the slam below the moving averages. The moving averages are hanging out at $31.37 and $32. Do you really want to miss out on the moves upward in silver just to gain a couple bucks per ounce, potentially, if they try to slam again under the moving averages? I think it's a risk that, why wait? Right? You get a couple extra bucks. You're not going to sell, if silver hits 50 and blows by 50, you're not going to sell. You're not going to care about those $2, is the reality. And we are at the end point for the silver manipulation. So if they do slam, and they can, obviously they can click a mouse, but they are not positioned to slam right now, which is very interesting. Silver is at a high point for the last, look at the longer term charts. Look at the last 10 years. Silver's last 10 years, we're hovering around that $35 high. You go 20 years, you have to go back to 2011 timeframe. You can see all the action around 35, how it was a floor, and then it was a ceiling, And then we went into the artificial bear market started by JP Morgan in 2011 when they spiked the price to $50. And then they just held it there with computers and derivatives. Now we're right back at that $35. So this is a very, very interesting time for silver. And the banks are not, I repeat, the banks are not positioned for a slam. It truthfully looks like they're trying to get out of their silver short position and then try to go long. I don't think they'll have to be able to go long because who would take that position? Who would take the short position against the long? For every long, there has to be a short. The U.S. government, maybe, Virtu Financial, the rigging arm of the cabal. Who knows? Who really knows? But there are exciting things going on in silver. Open interest is volumes are going up. Open interest is let's see here. What are we at? 144. Very interesting. We had another 500,000 ounces delivered yesterday. Yeah, it's crazy. We're at the end of a delivery month. I think there's only 4 days left of trading, and then we start the non-delivery month of June, and then another delivery month. So I've calculated the numbers so far. Last delivery month was March, and that was 81 million ounces, around 81, 82 million ounces. We are right now at 74 million ounces plus 2 million ounces of the mini contract. Where is it? It's right down here. Nobody looks at the micro silver futures, but this month they are delivering almost 2 million ounces. So add that to silver. Yes, those are silver bars. Add that to silver, and you're looking at right now so far delivered 76 million. Another that's another little over 2 million, so it's 78. And there's 5 days left, and about 500,000 a day. I think we're gonna hit 80. It can hit 80 over 81, which would be hysterical because that was everybody was screaming, "Oh my God, massive deliveries in March." We have literally had massive deliveries in April, and July is going to be even bigger, and then September is going to be the coup de grace. Where are they getting all the silver? I think it's SLV is being sold off. They say it's being added to SLV. SLV is somewhere around 500 million ounces. It went up. The silver inventories went up exactly proportionate to the COMEX inventories, exactly proportionate. Silver deliveries went up exactly proportionate to the SLV inventories rising. What does that tell you? It tells me that they are double counting SLV, probably triple counting, rehypothecating SLV inventories. It's not illegal under the what's that thing called? Prospectus. The prospectus for SLV. I used to call it Swiss cheese. You can do anything you want, and JP Morgan runs the physical side, and BlackRock, that other criminal organization, massive gold and silver rigger. BlackRock is massive because they don't have to report like a bank does. They're the other side doing whatever. The guy named Evie Hambro runs that rigging program of the Hambro banking family, by the way. But yeah, obviously they're a very large, powerful player. One of the biggest corporations on the planet, if not the biggest. Really exciting times for silver. Again, keep watching. Look at that. Right here is it's 555,000 ounces delivered yesterday. And then today, who knows? Actually, I think it's going to be small today. And then we got a couple days next week. So May's a long month. I think there's 31 days in May. How many days in May? I think it's 31. Anyway, the reality is there is silver bleeding out of all the exchanges. I want to show you guys this interesting fact. Now, I've gone back and forth with the Silver Institute and Metals Focus saying you guys are lying, cheating, and stealing, or you're either dumb or lying, or cheating, and stealing. I don't know which one sometimes. The Metals Focus just came out with their India monthly pack, and it's a good breakdown. I like it. The thing that interests me the most is what kind of metal is being imported into India. It used to be all grain, and now it's only 6% grain and 93% bars. And where the bars coming from? Mostly from the UK. And then some from Singapore. So really interesting. Now, whether or not these are true, I don't know. But they got another month wrong. They got April completely wrong. They have it right here as like 750 tons, 700 tons around there, which is 23, 24 million ounces. And they got it wrong. I mean, I'm looking at it, I'm like, wait, no, it was only like 5 million ounces. It was a slow month. I thought it'd be bigger. Unless there's something I'm not seeing. Because I go to the India imports, and it's $159 million right here, 159 million. So this, and last month was just below that. This should be way down here with this March. Just barely upticked over that. So I don't know what's going on at Metals Focus, but this is like the third time I've seen this thing wrong. We know that the Silver Institute numbers are completely ridiculous. That's the let me show you. I'm going to just show you for the 9 millionth time. Every one of these red boxes, this is the Silver Institute's silver survey every year. This is from not this year, but last year's, when they tried to hide about 100 million ounces extra going into the solar panels. They had to go back and change. Every one of those red boxes was changed. Historical numbers changed to massage it so it didn't look so radical. And it was radical. They basically reported half of what the solar usage was that year. So 2023. And now Jeffrey Christian, they're saying, oh yeah, it was a massive overproduction in 23. That's why the numbers aren't so big this year, even though solar's going up. Well, you got to count them 1 year, right? You can't just say, I'm going to not talk about this one and then say, oh, it's all smoothed out. No, that's not the way it works. Anyway, they went back and changed all the historical numbers. Every one of those red boxes has been changed. And those are going back to 2015. They had to go back, literally, to 2015 and change every single number to make this thing work. Because otherwise it would have looked like, oh my God, what's going on with silver? And they can't have that. They predicted a 2% rise, and they ended up with in photovoltaics, they came up with 36%. It's actually 76, or 38%. It's actually 76%. Anyway, I've been through that a million times. You guys should know this by now. Indian numbers, they're screwing up now. They do go back and change numbers, as we know. When they screw up their Indian numbers, I guarantee you, they're going to go back and change this number to about the same bar size as this one. About 5.5 million ounces around that was imported. Not a big one. At least that's what was reported. Now, I'm hearing a lot of delays in delivery of silver. So they can buy it when the cabal slams down the price of silver. Like this is all about here. They can buy it in here, but it won't be delivered right away anymore. Now they're waiting. So I think next month will be bigger than, even though it was above the moving averages, I think next month will be reported as silver finally got there type of thing. Not sure on that, though. Not sure on that. Again, Theta Fuel. If this isn't manipulation, you don't know what is, right? It's so ridiculous. And I love it, though. I love it that Theta is not in the pedo cabal side of things. You know, a lot of the deep state pedos are into crypto, as we saw with FTX. You know, you look at that Sam Bankman-Fried's little logos, and it's all that. Oh, it's just so bad. But all this is coming out now, which is great. Pizzagate's coming back into the scene. If you're over at X, Twitter, I mean, Twitter, it's X. You'll see a lot more truth being thrown down about Clinton body count and all that. I talk about that on the private road. I can't talk about that on YouTube. I can show you this one thing, I think, about something that just happened. The shooter, really interesting. Look, everything's a false flag these days. But look at this when they're arresting him. Look at this guy. They let him go. Here's your Palestine flag back, and the guy runs in and catches it. We're on camera. This is so ridiculous, this whole thing. It's just fake. It's just fake. It's all fake. Another false flag. Oh, my God. I can't talk about that. I'm not going to. That's the last thing I'm going to say. FF. Go to the private row. We talk about that stuff. We're currently giving away 10 Theta, 100 TFuel, and 1,000 T-drop with every private road subscription. Again, just posted this discussion with Miss Jenny Moonstone on the private road. There we go. And we get into it, especially about silver in the spotlight and what's about to happen to Theta and especially TFuel. Theta's going to do great. When people really understand Theta and really understand which token is more, if it's a use case coin, use case offering, you want to use the coin that's going to be used. And when Amazon and Google and Azure, which is Microsoft's cloud, all say, "Oh my God, we've teamed up for a decentralized cloud with Theta." Good night, manipulators, and U.S. Exchange. Any day now. I'm really excited about that. So you'll be able to buy it on Coinbase this year. I don't know if the first one's going to be Coinbase. My guess is that it will be because they almost went on Coinbase like 5 years ago. And so I think it will be. It's time. The regulatory thing isn't. All their lawyers have signed off on it, and they do have a date. So it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen before the Edge Cloud is released. The hybrid, decentralized, elite edge node cloud, whatever you want to call it. The 25th is when that comes out in 33 days. So you should be fully loaded up on TFuel for that. And stake it. It's easy to stake. There's plenty of instructions on Road to Ruta, on the private road, on the Theta page on how to stake. And don't be left out of this one. This is the future you don't want to be left out of. Now, which will do better in the short term? I think silver. I think silver is going to finally break out of the 180 years of price suppression now. That's 170 years since the Opium Wars. So it won't go from $35 to $50. Yay, you're done. No, I think it'll cut through $50 like a knife through butter, and then it's blue sky after that. Nobody knows the true price of silver because nobody knows how much silver is really left, or the amount of gold left, or the gold-silver ratio, and all this stuff is going to come into play. Remember, when banks collapse, they have to sell their assets, and the most liquid assets are usually gold and Bitcoin. So the banks have loaded up on gold and Bitcoin, so they're going to have to sell those. Now, will a market be open even to sell it? I don't know. Probably not. If the banks go, there are no markets that are open, not even crypto markets. Maybe some of the decentralized stuff will be, but not many people use those. So we're headed into a very strange time, and we talk about that on the Road to Ruta. Check out roadtoruta.com, and then, that's it. I'll talk to you later. Bye.